Welcome to another Stepping Stone to AAC Family Game Night. So welcome to our another Stepping Stones to AAC classroom. We have a new classroom set up. Let me see if I can pull it up here. So this is this landing page. There, Heather put it in the chat for you guys. This is our landing page. So if you've joined us for a Stepping Stones to AAC class before, which was last year and the year before, part of the year before, this is all of our trainings that we have done previously. And you can actually click on these little icons and it'll take you to those trainings. So go ahead and check those out. And then if you go to the other one, another Stepping Stone to AAC, Heather is missing. We will add her back in here. But I don't know what happened. Just know that they work the same, but this one is the most recent ones that you'll find in here. So you cannot click on this game icon right now, but after the training, we will get this all set up. And you'll be able to access that to share this recording with friends, colleagues, families, whomever you choose. Also, these low-tech boards will also link to some low-tech boards, and then you can also find your consultant should you have any further questions about what we presented on this evening. So that is our classroom. And as I said, let me go back to my slide here where Heather is there. My name is Brittany Toney, and I am the Bitmoji on the right. I am a speech language pathologist, as I mentioned, and PRC Saltillo consultant for Southwest Ohio, Southeast Indiana, and Northern Kentucky. So kind of a tri-state loop there. That's where I'm at. And I will let Heather introduce herself.
And I'm Heather Pranovo. I am the Bitmoji on the left that reappeared. I am also a speech language pathologist and an AAC consultant in Minnesota.
All right, so welcome again, and we're going to start our journey this evening. This is just a reminder that AAC is truly a journey. It takes a lot of practice, it takes a lot of modeling, it takes a lot of patience. And it's not meant to, once you present the device to your client for the first time, they don't just magically start talking with it. It's a process. We have to teach them how to use it, just as you would teach a student a foreign language. So it is a process. And during this course, we might go a little bit deeper with maybe more words that we're modeling or using communicative pragmatic language and talking about those kind of things with communicative functions. But just know that if your client isn't there yet, it's okay to take a few steps back. So just remember that AAC is a journey and we're all in this together.
All right, so the handouts, as noted in the chat window, there is a tab in the AAC learning journey where you joined in on the class that says content, and that's where the handouts are going to be located. This first one you see on the screen is our Another Stepping Stone to AAC organizational tool. We're going to practice filling this in together. You can use this and share this with others if you find it helpful, but it's a great way to plot out what you're going to be targeting, what you're going to be saying, and what you're going to be modeling on AAC. So we'll go step by step through each of those sections and fill it out tonight. And then the second part of the handouts is the reference tool. So this goes through and explains each of those sections so that if you go and you're like, okay, I know Brittany talked me through this, what goes in this step, or if you do hand it out to coworkers, families, it talks you through what it is you're targeting in each of those sections and how to fill it in.
Okay, so tonight we are doing family game night, and we're going to start with a card game. In this specific example, my kids and I are going to play Uno together. Card games are really fun. We did a game night last year. So if you want to check that one out just to get some different ideas and play, and you can watch that as well. But tonight we're going to be playing Uno. I love Uno because it's such a great game for a wide variety of clients. You can be an adult and still love Uno. You can be an adolescent and play Uno. You can be a young child and still play Uno. So it works with a variety of ages and for a variety of different abled clients. So that's why I love this game. And family game night is just fun. In the summer, when we don't really have a bedtime, my family love to play games together. You can target pronouns, you can target asking questions, you can target adjectives like we are in this game, and you can teach skills beyond communication. So you can teach things like taking turns and waiting, which is huge for some kids. So, you know, not just taking turns, but you can also target other things as well, and not just targeting some of those words per se, but those skills kind of beyond that. So that's why I love this. And just pictured here, I took a picture of this. It's my son is 5 and he's unable to hold his cards all together. So this is, I actually stole this idea from Chris Bouguet and Beth Poss, who did a game webinar for Closing the Gap a couple years ago. And they had this great idea of making a Lego card holder. So my daughter can now hold all her cards in one hand, but my son cannot. So this is what we do when we play Uno or other card games with him. So he can kind of fan them out and see all that's there, but he doesn't have to hold them in his hand. So I just thought I'd share that. If you have any AAC users who like to play card games, but they are unable to hold them in their hands, this is a great way to adapt that. The other thing that I will mention is with Uno, we're playing just good old Uno, but if you've ever heard of Uno Attack, I think they actually make some that are Switch adapted. So if you do have a Switch user that would love to play a card game, that would be another fun way that they could actually select to have the cards given to them so that they don't have to take them with their actual hands. So that just a couple ideas on how to modify card games for your AAC users who may not be direct selectors, sorry. All right, so here we have 2 low-tech boards. This first one is our Unity 84 sequenced board that's available. This vocabulary or language system is available on our accent devices. Tonight, I'm going to be modeling on Lamp Words for Life on Avia Pro, which is our iOS-based device, but just know that they're very similar. So you'll see a few differences, but they're mostly similar. So just use whatever language system your client is using to follow along with me and find out what core words I might be saying in the video that I'm going to show. We also have this, our Word Power low-tech board as well that you can download and follow along. So if your client's using Word Power, Unity, Lamp Words for Life, whatever they're using, follow along with that. And because core words are core words and it really doesn't matter. So
it doesn't, yeah.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start this video. Just let me know if you guys are unable to hear it. Maybe, there we go.
All right, ready to play Uno? Yeah. We're going to play Uno. Do you remember how to play? Yeah. No, we have to have the same color. The same number. Or the same number. Same color and the same number. Or the same number. Or it can be both. Or it can be both, that's right. And it cannot be a different color or a different number. So I'm going to go first. And I have a green. It's the same color. It's the same color, but uh-oh, that means skip. Now it is not your turn. That's okay. Okay, Kenton's turn. Do you have the same color or the same?
No, you get to go again.
No, it's his turn.
I got the same color.
It is his turn.
But
Same color.
not.
Good job. That is the same. Is it different? No, it's the same. All right, Bex, or Mommy's turn. I have the same number. Same number.
You have to draw.
It's okay.
Oh. I can see it.
Wait, let's see. Is this one the same?
No,
It's different.
I don't
Okay.
know how many green
Okay, that you're right. That is the same.
color.
The same color. It's what color?
Red.
Red.
Okay, those are my two kids. So that is just an example of what it would look like, or what that interaction might look like. In a later video, we're going to show you how it would look like if you're modeling. So we're going to go to the next.
All right.
Oh, sorry. Don't know what just happened. Okay, so we're going to go to our next slide here. When we're talking about language and communicative functions, we can't really talk about communicative functions without talking about pragmatic language. So when we're talking about pragmatic language, we're talking about different functions of communication, and based on your AAC learners, what stage they might be in of AAC, this can be found on the AAC Language Lab. We might target some different things with them. So if they're just talking with one or two words, we might just comment. We might just request. We might just protest. If they're at a stage 4 and maybe they're using 3, 4 words, then maybe we are, sorry, I'm trying to read my thing. We're rephrasing. We're maintaining the topic of conversation. So our communicative function might be different if we are using more words versus less words. So just remember that based on your AAC learners stage, what stage of language that they're in, then you might use you might target some different functions of communication based on their skill level. So just know that, and that is for your reference. Okay, let's go on to the next stage. So I am not going to use this wackadoodle, whatever's going on with that. Okay, so here we go. All right, so the first step, what we're going to do is we're going to choose a communication function to target. So in the video, I'm going to ask you to use your chat window for this. So in the video or with a game night activity, what functions of communication might we use?
The first one that pops into my head is taking turns. Or the turn.
Yes, let me get my highlighter out. If I can find it.
There it is. I think you guys demonstrated commenting. Kind of that, oh, yay.
Yep. Commenting. Sorry, I was making sure that everybody can, in fact, use the chat window.
Perfect. That is a good thing to check. I know.
Yes. Looks like you can. Any other ideas?
Or if you're thinking of other games, other possible things you could target. Teasing? Oh, totally.
Yep.
Games get competitive.
They
Teasing's
do.
fun.
Yep.
And I always think if our verbal kids, our speaking kids are doing it, then our AAC kids better have access to it too.
Yes. I was also thinking confirm
Oh,
and
yeah.
deny. So that's another one.
Depending
Okay.
upon the game, directing actions. So there's lots we could be targeting, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Okay, so next, what we are going to do next is pick 3 core words or phrases that I was using. So we're going to put those here. What words did you hear me using? Same. Yeah, lots of that.
Same and different. Those are always good. Definitely heard our pronouns I and you.
Yes. Maybe turn or, yeah, there you go.
To say on the same page. I think you were using play.
Yes, I did use play. Good. Okay, so how can we use, so the next step is, actually, let me go back to my slides here. So now we're going to think of some scripts for aided language input. So we are going to use open-ended questions and comments to encourage communication. So an open-ended question, if you're not familiar, is a question that cannot be answered with just a yes or no response or just a one-word answer. I realized after I did this video that I wasn't doing the best at using open-ended questions myself, but
It happens to all of us.
it does. And this is why this is kind of nice to record yourself and realize, oh, you know, I didn't do that. So, but what we can do and what I was trying to do is recast and expand my kiddos' utterances. So, you know, when they would say the same, I say, you're right, it is the same, it is red. So that would be recasting. So what recasting and responding is just a way that you're kind of rephrasing what they say in a more appropriate way, or maybe targeting a specific word or phrase that you want them to be using that maybe they're not saying. So if they say something like want ball, you could recast and expand that utterance by saying something like, I love to play with the ball. I want to play ball too. And that would be a way that we can recast an utterance. So when we're thinking about scripts for aided language, we want to use open-ended questions and then think of ways if they don't respond or if they only respond with 1 or 2 words, how we can respond and recast that utterance. So let's go back to our sheet here, and we are going to think of some scripts for aided language input. These can be questions or just, oh, can't spell. These can be questions or they can be comments. So whichever a way that you could recast. So what are some questions or comments you can use for this, for the words same and different?
I think you said that's the same.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe like, does that card match? I mean, technically you could say yes or no, but then you could recast and say, you know, it does not. We could, you know, target the word not match.
Or it's not the same.
Not the same. It is different. All right, what about for I and you? What are some questions or comments you could use for I and you?
How are you?
Are you? It's a good open-ended one. Maybe,
I
Oh.
see you.
maybe whose turn? And then they can say my turn or your turn. So you could use those different pronouns, his turn. Oops. His, her, their turn. So you could target those different pronouns.
You could say I have one.
Mhm. I have different, or I have same.
Skip you.
Skip you, yes.
If we're gonna tease. Skip
Yes.
you.
Skip you, yes. Uno can be real, real cutthroat. I
Yeah.
had some kids that I used to work with that, man. Okay, so what about turn,
Play.
play?
We could reuse whose turn. Which is always nice if you're able to reuse questions and comments, because now we're targeting different words, different responses, but still targeting those same ideas.
We could, if our user is a little bit more advanced, we could say something like we are playing a game and use that ing.
What card are you going to play? Or what card did you play?
Awesome. Okay, so there's that, and you can feel free to save this, what we talked about, if you're typing it in or writing it down. But we also have one blank for you so that you can then reuse it, because this is a great form to have for lesson plans and things like that. So, okay. So let me go. Okay, so now the next step, the last step is to find our words. So I believe I found them on each of the, oops, sorry, there we go. So I just highlighted 4 here. So we're talking about different pronouns. We might use the word my, which is up in names on Unity or Lamp Words for Life, or my on word power, not or no. They're in similar locations. And then under make, that's where same and different are on Unity and Words for Life. And then same and different are under describe at the top in word power. So, okay. All right, so we're running out of time, so I'm going to go ahead and play this. And this would be, again, I'm modeling on Lamp Words for Life on a VIA Pro. This would be what modeling might look like if you're playing the game while as you're modeling with your AAC user.
All right, we are going to play. Uno. We're gonna play Uno. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, Kenton, it is your turn. It is your turn, Kenton. Remember, our color has to be the same. Or the number has to be the same.
Oh no.
You're right. What did you do?
Color.
The same color. It is the same. All right, now it's whose turn?
It's my turn.
No, it's mommy's turn. It's my turn. All right, I'm gonna do this. What? That's the same color. What color is it?
It's red.
You're right. It is red. Good job. It is your turn.
You both have to draw 2 cards, and I'm going to pick a different color. I mean, 4 cards.
Okay, let's just play this as a wild for right now. So what color do you want it to be? Should we pick the same? Wait, should we do the same color? Or should we do a different color?
A different color, and I want it to yellow.
I want a different color. I want different color. Okay, what color?
All right, I'm gonna pause it there just due to time, but you get the idea. It's pretty similar.
I love that we switched gears to Legos too.
Yeah, I guess that's the one plus to having a Lego card holder is you can, if you get bored, which is very common for my son, you can just switch. Yeah, you can just change activities. It's great. All right. So, okay. Oh, sorry. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Okay. So after trying the steps with the video, do you guys still have questions? How did you feel? What are some of your next steps?
Well, I'm glad. I know I was, as soon as you said Uno Attack, Brittany, I'm like, ooh, we haven't played that at our house in a while. I should take that one out.
Otherwise, thank you so much for joining us this evening, and we hope that you learned some things that you can take with you either now or in the fall, should you not be doing therapy in the summers.